Hi everybody, welcome to another YDF Live show. My name is Stephen Aitchison, creator of YourDigitalFormula.com, a program to help you become the influencer that you are. So today is Friday Q&A day today. So if you've got any questions at all, just kind of write to us, Q, the big capital Q, and with your question, and myself and Maria Flynn will be on. I'm just going to introduce you to Maria Flynn in a second. She'll be on with me to answer your questions. So any question you want about kind of Facebook, about kind of growing an online business, about anything at all like that, just ask away. Just put a capital Q in the comments box and then with your question, and we'll get started with that. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Maria Flynn. As you know, Maria Flynn is the owner and creator of YDFLive, and she's got over 240,000 followers all over on YDFLive, and she's got her own business in her own right with kind of Mojo Mastery, and that she does with the Brilliant Lawn Journal as well. And she has her own kind of blog over at YDFLive as well, and she is our operations manager here at YDF. So welcome, Maria Flynn.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very good. Very good. We've just had a kind of business meeting this morning. We always have a business meeting on a Friday morning. And as usual, it was very kind of energizing, on point, and it was just really good. Because this week I've not really been into it as much as I should because of things I've had to do. But it was really good just to get back into it and thinking about things again. So kind of loads to talk about today, and hopefully we've got lots of questions from everybody else as well.
Welcome. And if you have a question about anything that has to do with Facebook, your online business, email, whatever you've got going on, put a big Q in the comments section and put it on there, and Stephen and I will answer it. We've got 30 minutes together, and while we're waiting for those questions to roll through, you know, Stephen just mentioned that we had our business meeting this morning, and part of our business meeting was to watch Mark Zuckerberg's summit talk yesterday that he did on Facebook Live. How inspiring was that?
Well, I thought it was so inspiring that I'm going to use it for the CYT video. Normally I do a TED video on a Friday, as you say, and I thought it's not just to talk about Facebook, it's kind of talk about how the way us as humans should be.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really, really inspiring. So I'm going to use that video and see if we can get it together for the CYT Live. I think it's going to be really good for people as well. But basically what Mark was talking about in the that is talking about groups and bringing communities together, building up tribes together as well. So the big thing is groups, and we've been talking about this for, I know myself and you, Maria, have been talking about for the last few months at least, but we've been talking about it in the business meetings for the last year or so as well. So that is the big thing. And Rob Waddle was kind enough to send me a document about all the kind of changes that are going to be made to the group. So Rob, if you're on just now, I don't know if you're on, but thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. So before we start, Maria, with the Q&A, I was going to say we could just run and kind of talk about groups and why they're so important. But first, I know you've been running your own group as well. You've got your own group, Funk to Freedom, which is a brilliant group. Do you want to talk a wee bit about that as well, why it's so important for you to have groups?
Well, yeah, I mentioned in our meeting that I kind of feel like I was building communities before I realized how important communities are, that no matter where I've been in my life, I've always felt that there's a power in groups versus working alone. And for Funk to Freedom, you know, from the very beginning, even though I am the leader of the group, I also know to get out of the way so that other people can shine as leaders. I think the most powerful thing that groups can do is provide an opportunity for everyone not just to connect, but to show up authentically, to show up from a place of need, if that needs to happen. And then you have people that can show up to support and help and pull them through. And those same people that showed up needing are now empowered to help those that come in later. There's always somebody there that's going to be ahead of you or going to be behind you. And we all help each other. And we all, in essence, are leaders in a group. We take responsibility for being a group member. And there's something really empowering in that.
There is, and I think that's what you kind of shared your vision was for Funk to Freedom. You had a very definite kind of vision there. And it was the same kind of vision we had for the YDF group as well. Mm-hmm. When I first started the YDF group, it was just, when the program first came out, it was a secondary thought But then I realised when people got in there, when the first 10, 15 people got into the YDF group and bought the programme, I realised just how important the community was. Because what we're doing here, we're bringing together people who may feel a bit of a misfit, kind of somewhere else, but they've found their tribe. And when you find your tribe, that's when things start to grow within yourself. You start to kind of gain that kind of personal development kind of thing as well. And you just start to grow as a person because there's other people that not think like you, but they're traveling along the same path as well. And with the YDF group, everybody supports each other in there. Everybody is kind of on the same wavelength. There's no kind of competition to see who's got the most number of pages or who's got the most number of sales or products or anything. They're all there to support each other. And that's a huge thing about groups. And that's what I love about the YDF group as well.
The thing about the YDF group when I first started is it was really empowering to know that, one, I didn't have to work alone in starting an online business.
Yep.
I had other people who were out to share their message. And you learn more and continuously in that YDF group, specifically for our business, because not just by learning from your modules and learning from your Q&As that you do every week in there, but by creating a community where we help each other, it just puts everything that you've taught, it's more succinct. In other words, you learn more by teaching. And that's what you've created over there in that group. Not only are you teaching and are you the leader, but you've given an opportunity for us to be leaders in our own right. And you allow us to learn the materials because we're sharing it with each other. We're helping each other. We remind each other that we've been through this path before. We've hit this bump in the road before. And these were how I solved it. And we learn how other people solve it. It's constantly evolving and it's constantly creating a place for those coaches to continue to evolve and learn, no matter where they are in their business, just starting out or, well advanced. So I can't say enough about community. It just, Mark Zuckerberg said it perfectly. Communities strengthen fabric. That's what they do. They strengthen fabric. And YDF does that exactly because it's bringing the coaches together. You're not working alone. We might all coach different things. We might all teach different things. But essentially, the underlying thing is that we're all there to serve mankind in some way through our coaching. And this fabric gets stronger because we're together and we're helping each other and we're supporting each other. And we get through the stuff that isn't so fun sometimes, like the marketing, the prospecting, the learning how to do, how to work Kajabi, how to work ClickFunnels, how to do all those detailed things they have to be done if you're going to run a business. And it's so much more fun when you have a group together like you do over on YDF to do that.
It is, and that's what kind of inspired me about the Mark Zuckerberg thing as well. They are now changing. Facebook have got a mission, just like every company in the world. They've got a kind of vision statement. They've got a mission statement as well. So this is so important to Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook and to the 2 billion users that are kind of using it on a daily basis. He's actually changed his mission statement. So his mission statement is now to give people the power to build a community to bring the world closer together. That is now Facebook's mission statement. That is their mission statement. He's changed it because he's realized how important kind of communities are and groups within Facebook. And really that's what he's talking about, the communities within Facebook. So I thought that was brilliant that he's now changed his whole kind of ethos and kind of what Facebook is all about. And I think excellent, and that's only good for us as well. So what I wanted to do was just run through a couple of changes, Maria, that they're going to be making with groups that have just came out. So I'll just run through them quickly just now.
And while Stephen runs through what those quick changes are for the group, remember, we'll be taking your questions. So be sure to write your question with a big Q in the comment section, and we'll address those before the show's over.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. And I know, Laurie, you've kind of put in the comments there some of the changes that are coming, which is excellent. So in your insights now, so just like pages, you're now going to have insights for your groups. So you'll be able to see where members are coming from. You'll be able to see the group growth and the engagement, when your group members are most active, which is brilliant. And you'll be able to see the most popular posts as well, which is really going to help you with building engagement and seeing what your tribe really respond to as well. Member request filtering, they've kind of had that kind of for a while now, for the last month or so, where you can ask questions. That's kind of a filtering system as well, but they're going to be able to, if you just want a certain country in there, say just people from the USA, for example, or you just want females in that group aged between 25 and 55, you can filter the group members that way as well, which is really, really good. Depending on what your group is for, you're not excluding anybody from a group. You're just, you know who your tribe are, you know who your kind of avatar is, and you know who you want in the group. So it's good from that point of view as well.
It's a way to create a safer space for whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Exactly. Because we all know, if you're an admin of a group just now, we all know the amount of spammers we get in there, and the amount of people that have just joined Facebook, and you know it's fake accounts, and trawling through them is going to be a real pain in the arse. So they're making that easier to deal with as well, because they've got a member cleanup now as well, and you can kick out rogue and delete all their past activity with one button. So that's coming up as well. And the big thing, big thing for me is going to be post scheduling. That's what Laurie was talking about. Post scheduling for groups is coming, which is going to be really, really good, because you know when you're in a group, you're not always online, and you can only post at certain times, i.e. when you're awake. Now you can schedule your posts as well. So I think that's going to be a big, huge thing as well. I don't know if you're going to be able to schedule to other groups that you're not an admin of, but I don't know if that's coming or not, but certainly as an admin, you can definitely schedule, and that's going to be a good thing as well. What else have they got? Group-to-group linking, which you might have seen if you're in the YDF tribe. Excuse me. If you're in the YDF tribe, I've done a group-to-group linking as well. So it links you to the YDF kind of live group. It links you to the Grow Your Followers group as well. So just say admin recommended when you go into the group in YDF now as well. So obviously you'll not see it if you're not a YDF tribe member. So join up for your digital formula to see that. So I think that's the main things just now. I don't know if I've missed anything, Maria, but I think that's the main.
No, I think the coolest thing and the biggest, most ambitious thing, which I think is totally doable, that Mark said yesterday, you know, there's about 2 billion people that are logging into Facebook every single day right now. And his biggest goal with, you know, creating, you know, when you're on Facebook, you see that it always gives you page suggestions underneath, and now it's going to give you group suggestions. And their goal is to get 1 billion people to join meaningful communities of some sort on Facebook.
Yep. And what he said about joining a community as well, he said studies have been shown, and we've kind of known this for a long time, if you're part of a community, you feel happier as a person, rather than as, because when I first started this, for example, when I first started doing the online, I felt totally alone. I was doing every single thing myself. But if I had a group like the YDF tribe group as well, where I knew kind of other coaches that were doing this kind of thing, and I was part of that group, it'd have made it so much easier. And then learning would have been much quicker as well. Because within the group, even the YDF tribe group, if you've got a question, you ask in there, and within a couple of minutes, somebody literally says, oh, I think you can go here, or I know the answer, and they give the answer. So it's brilliant from that point of view. So studies have shown if you're part of a community, then you actually feel happier in your life as well, which I thought is a really good thing.
And you give more.
Yeah.
You actually give more. And there's a psychological thing about being not just belonging to a community, but being an active member of a community. And if you're not active, you're not benefiting in the greatest way for yourself or with others. There's something that pulls you to want to give more. And that, for me, has always been meaningful, even before Mark was talking yesterday in the YDF group, because we're working with the coaches, and because the whole premise of a coaching business is to help more people. And the more we create a community that's helping them help more people, for me, it's always been this beautiful, organic win-win, as you always say, and it's powerful.
It is, and I think we can drive that forward with groups as well. We can make that a bigger thing and a bigger part of our business as well. And if we make groups a part of our business as well, that is going to be even, and we've been saying this for God knows how long. If you've got a product, you've got a service or anything, bring your tribe together within a group so you can speak to them specifically. So it's going to be really powerful, and the fact that they're emphasizing this now means Facebook are going to give it more attention, which means we're going to get more reach
Yeah, I mean, having a group, if you have a business, having a group is going to be a must. The way we kind of explained it in our last YDF monthly last month was, your page is sort of the broad strokes. It's where your branding is. It's where people get a sense of who you are. But the groups is where you get to build the relationships. The groups is where you do a little bit more of that education marketing. It's where you build that know, like, trust factor more authentically. And it'll only serve to support your business as well as support the members that are in that community that want to be supported, that are looking for that.
And I think on that kind of video as well, we'll just kind of say the last thing about this before we go to questions. Mark Zuckerberg kind of highlighted two people within the audience that were they've made groups, they've set up groups specifically one was for locksmiths. I think a group for locksmiths, but this is a lonely job. That's what Mark Zuckerberg was saying, that it's a lonely job being a locksmith. And he's brought a community. This guy has kind of created a community. And there's a woman there as well. She'd created a community for women. And she's now got over 1 million members in that group. And they help each other if they're doing charity work or something like that, to focus on things like that. And I just think that's a brilliant example of it. But for us as business owners, as coaches, we can use it for the good as well, because we're bringing that tribe together, and that tribe is going out and sharing something in their kind of respective worlds as well. Yeah. So it's creating that ripple effect that I kind of love to talk about all the time, that ripple effect around the world, where we're doing good. And another quote just from that as well. What was the quote? Yeah, and the quote basically is, we've been saying this for a while as well, is to ask yourself the question, how can I make the greatest positive impact? And that's what we're here to do. I think that's one of our life's purposes, whether we realise it or not. I think ultimately, and I truly believe this, that is our ultimate aim in life. And that goes hand in hand with your business. Business is not to make money. Business is to help as many people as you can in the world, and the money is secondary. Of course, you have to think about it, but it's about helping people. And when you think about your business that way, that's when it changes.
And that's what makes businesses successful, when they're approaching a solution to a problem. They're providing solutions, and that's how you're helping people. And I know we're going to take questions, but social media isn't going anywhere. Social media is an extension of who we are. Facebook may change, may alter throughout the years, but connecting socially through social media is the same as us drinking coffee every morning. It's an extension of who we are. It's our lifestyle, and that's global. And whether you believe you're here to leave a legacy or not, it's already happening. Yep. The fact that you're on Facebook, the fact that you're commenting, you're participating, you're doing anything online is leaving a legacy. And unlike any other time in history, you go tomorrow and we just have to look you up and we can know what you're about. Yep. And for me, this is huge. This is a massive way that all of us can leave such a beautiful, energetic imprint for the world and really make it a great place when we show up as our highest selves. All right, I'll get off my soapbox. Are you ready for questions?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I know a couple flew through here. Lori, thank you for letting us know about the scheduling. I'm excited about that because, I run several groups, and that will be very, very helpful. Margie Tucker, just a quick comment, says, my motto has always been, be authentic. Today I'm feeling like a leader. I'm on the verge of a great new life. You both have empowered me on this journey. Thank you, Margie.
That's brilliant, Margie. That is
go. Go. That's awesome. Kathy Baker has a question. She says, what would be your best tip for starting a group from scratch right now to get off to the best start, considering the changes that have and are being made to Facebook groups? Go ahead. Do you want to take that one?
Question. Have you got it, or do you want me to take it?
Well, my first thing is, Kathy, you are a YDF member. So one of the benefits of being a YDF member is that you can participate in our YDFLive group for free. And last month we specifically talked about groups. So I would definitely go watch that video. It's in your library in the YDF membership. So we talked specifically about groups. And no matter what changes are happening in the groups for Facebook, I would highly recommend that you have a vision for what that group is there to do, and create a set of guidelines and a mission for that group. so that everyone who joins it has a direction to go. They know what to expect when they're in there. That would be my first response to that. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so there's quite a few things. So obviously have a purpose for the group. That's kind of like what you're saying there, Maria, as well. So when you've got a purpose for the group, like the purpose of the YDF group is for everybody who's bought the YDF program to join the YDF tribe. That is the purpose of the group, and to expand your knowledge within that group. So have a purpose for the group and know who your avatar is as well. We spoke about avatars before, where you know who the type of person you want in there. So if it's not for a business product or it's not for a service kind of related thing as well, it's just a general kind of group you want to bring together. It's got to be kind of, there's a purpose for it and the type of people you want in there as well. You can't just say, okay, it's for everybody, it's for the whole world, I want to change the world. Dig down deep, have a purpose, and really think about who you want to have in there, who's going to make the greatest impact as well. But to grow your group quicker, obviously utilize everything that you have just now, Kathy. So you've got a Facebook page, you've got an email list, you've got a blog, you've got Twitter, you've got your other social media kind of platforms as well, and you've also got your friends and family that you can invite into the group as well, if they are part of that tribe, if you want them to be part of that tribe. But you can do all that straight away. Send out an email on a regular basis. Don't just send out once. Send out an email once every month or something like that. Just say, have you joined our group yet? And you could do that just to get your kick started. Friends and family, as I said, use your page. But if you're doing a live, for example, just mention that you've got this new group started and mention who it's for, what the purpose is, and people who are kind of compelled to join that group will join it because you're speaking directly to them. That's why it's important to know your avatar and the purpose of that group as well, Kathy. So utilize everything that you have just now, in particular email and your other social media accounts if you're big somewhere else as well. I don't know if you've got anything to add to grow your group quicker.
No, I think that when you start a group, that everybody feels that they're really benefiting by belonging to something that's special. And for me, I said that the broad strokes is on the business page and the more intimate setting is in that group. So if you have a program, if you're starting a program, if you're putting a book together, your group becomes a really great arena for beta testers. And they love it because they can either purchase your program or book at a reduced price because you want feedback from them, or you can take a select few and do something free just with them. And that provides a space for you to create a real program that has some real feedback from people that really are looking for what you're giving, and you can really design and work out the kinks and make something really beautiful with the help and support of the group that you're putting together.
Perfect.
I hope that made sense. All right, Faiz Khan has a question, and he says, oh my gosh, I feel a cough coming on. Faiz is asking a question, page or group, what do we need to create for a business? Excuse me.
Faiz, I would say both. Both now, because Facebook are making such a big thing, and when Facebook make a big thing about something, particularly kind of groups in this, it's a good time to start a group. It's always been a good time to start a group anyway. So I would say have both. So if you've got a page, and I wish I'd done this differently with CYT. So I might start a new page, a new group actually. So I've got a page, 3.5 million followers. I should have started up a separate group just for the kind of followers of that and had a purpose for the group as well. But I didn't. I started another group called Fringe Dwellers, which was a personal thing to me because I love Stuart Wilde, and it was all about kind of my thinking from that. So I should have started differently, but I can still change it. But if you're looking for business, start your page, then start a group, or do it simultaneously. So I would say that's kind of a must to do that. But definitely a page first, and then your group, if you had to choose between the two of them.
Yeah, I would agree. You need both. Tina Workman is commenting. She says, Facebook is going in the right direction. Never really paid attention until these lives. Makes a huge difference.
Thanks, Tina.
Yeah. I mean, this is, in a world that's so digital, we're finding new ways of communicating and connecting. And we have to be equally as innovative as those social media platforms in finding new ways to connect. I think these live shows are an amazing way to connect. Because
if you think about it, when social media first came out, when Twitter and Facebook and all that first came out, everybody was so disconnected from each other. Yeah. But now we are so coming together as a community, and we're joining other communities as well because of social media. It wasn't like that at the beginning, but because of social media, we now connect with more people. Like last Thursday, we met up with 24 people we would never have met up with in our lives when we first started kind of social media 10 years ago or something. That wouldn't have happened. And because of the lives, because people get to know, like, and trust us, and we get to know people a wee bit more intimately, I would say, then that's when we start to know, like, and trust, and we can feel safe kind of meeting up in this in a pub in Edinburgh, thousands of miles away. So social media is bringing us together more and more.
People in my group over in Fun for Freedom, some of them flew across the country. They're all meeting together in San Diego as we speak.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That's brilliant.
It is brilliant. Tina Workman is asking, what advice can you give for those of us who have trouble with technology? What's the best equipment that's not too expensive for someone just starting?
And the beautiful thing is, Tina, all you do really need is a computer. That's all you need, because a computer nowadays has a camera built in, so you can do lives from your built-in camera as well, or a phone. Even it depends on what your goals are, what your purpose is, and why you want to start your business or whatever it is you're looking to start. But a computer, or even a laptop, is all you need. Just get a MacBook. I just love kind of Mac stuff now. I've had a Mac for ages, for years. Never once kind of crashed on me or anything. Whereas before I had a Windows kind of machine and a PC, and it was always crashing, dead slow and everything. So I always recommend Mac. But that's all you really need. And like I said, with a kind of laptop, you've got a camera built in, so you can do your lives there. You can do all your work on that. You can do your images. You can do your kind of building websites and stuff like that. That's all you really need. And you can get a second-hand one just to start out and just get the feeling as you go and build up your knowledge.
You definitely can get a second-hand one. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Apple even sells their refurbished ones.
They do.
Which are really good as well.
Yep.
I've heard great things about that as well. Dave Moore is here. Hello, Dave Moore.
Hey,
nice
Dave.
to see you.
How are you doing?
He has a question. He says, hi, what's your opinion of Google and the Hangouts? Cheers.
Right. I like Google. I love Google, to be honest. I love everything they do. I love everything, all the kind of new innovative products they bring out and stuff like that. Hangouts, I prefer Facebook first because we've got more of an audience here. With kind of Google Hangouts, that you've got to work harder to get on, unless you've already got an audience as well, and you've got a big email list and you're sending people over to the Google Hangouts. I just prefer Facebook, but it's still a good tool. Any tool is a good tool when you're reaching people, Dave. And if that's your thing, and if that's your thing for reaching people as well, via your email list or wherever you're getting them from, then utilize it to its max. So I do like it. I just prefer Facebook Live, much better over kind of Google Hangouts. And obviously YouTube are bringing out things, kind of innovative things all the time just now. And that is a big thing. The lives just now are really big as well. So I think they're only going to get better with that as well. And obviously that pertains to Google Hangouts as well. So yeah, I do like it. I just prefer Facebook Lives. I don't know what you feel, Maria.
No, I feel the same way. And, we just put that article out yesterday where we kind of talked about where your audience is. And I think that's the most important thing. It's not just the platform, but figuring out where your audience resides. And Facebook, for the coaches anyways, tends to stand out above all the other ones. Yes, have a presence everywhere. And Google Hangouts is definitely a place to experiment. But more than 80% of the people between 29 and 40, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to recall, I don't have it memorized, reside on Facebook. And this is kind of where they are. And they, nearly 2 billion people are already logging into Facebook daily. I don't log in. I'm not one, and I don't know many people that log into Google daily. I mean, Google seems to be a little bit like Twitter for me. They just kind of go. Hangouts to sort of like Periscope as well. Is that it's a place to go do it, but the exchange and the interaction with your market seems to be better here on Facebook. That's just my personal opinion. So you just need to know where your specific market is, and it may be Google. It's not for me, but it may be Google for you.
Yeah.
Faiz Khan is asking, what if we can't do lives?
what if you can do lives? And what would be stopping you, Faiz? Because everybody can do lives now. And so it's not Facebook. I'm presuming you're not talking about Facebook stopping you doing lives. Do you mean personally if you don't want to go on camera? So if you just clarify that question as well, Faiz, because there's no reason you can't do a live physically. Facebook will let everybody do it now.
Yeah.
So if you just clarify, is it something you've got as a confidence thing, or if you let us know and we can see before the end of the show, but we're coming up for the end of the show actually.
Yeah. And again, post your questions on there if you have any, and I'm going to go through them real quick. So it's hard to talk and look at this at the same time. But while I'm doing that, Dave Moore is saying Google was it for a while as there was little competition, but now Facebook has wised up, in my opinion. And Faiz is saying he doesn't want to go on camera.
You don't want to go on camera. Right, I'm with you. Okay, you don't need to go on camera if you don't want to do the Facebook Live, because a lot of people do. A lot of people are going to be like that as well. Faiz, what I would say is, if it's for your business, if you're creating a business online, I would say you have to overcome that. It's a fear that a lot of people have, but once you do it once or twice, it's going to be so easy for you. You're just going to think, why didn't I do this before? If it's not for your business and you don't want to do lives, then it's going to be a different story. You can still do videos. You could do inspirational videos, kind of mashups of inspirational videos. You can do inspirational videos using quotes, for example. You can do that to build up the presence. But if you don't want to do a live, I think it's going to kind of hinder you a wee bit if it's for your business, because people want to know the face behind the business. It doesn't matter what kind of business it is. I love to find out about the big names behind the companies. Steve Jobs, I loved watching him. He was the name behind kind of Apple. And same with Mark Zuckerberg. He's brilliant to watch as well, and he's the name behind kind of Facebook as well. So I would say try and get over it if you can. If you can't, there's other ways to do videos. You don't need to do live shows. So I hope that helps, Faiz.
Yeah, I'm on board with Stephen. What you fear most is probably what you need to tackle first.
Yeah.
And I know I was afraid to get on camera, and now I can't see how I wouldn't be on camera for my community. It's important to know a little bit about some Facebook statistics, and that if you're choosing not to do live, you will be going against the current and the tides of Facebook. The lives are watched 3 times more than any video that's posted on Facebook. And the lives far supersede even just the poster and the images and the blog posts that you post on your feed. The lives, Mark Zuckerberg wants Facebook to be mostly video by the year 2020. So video and lives, when we look at that statistic, and we already see that the trend is happening, right? As you look at the Facebook newsfeed, Facebook Live, if video is going to be the #1 thing on Facebook, then the lives are watched 3 times more than replays or just videos that are produced. You got to pay attention to that statistic, and you're going to have to work with that. And again, Facebook Live is a new way of connecting with your audience. And if you're building a business, people will likely not purchase from you upon first contact or upon a post or a video. They know that they can look you up. They know that they can check you out and have an exchange with you a little bit before they invest in you and your business. And truly, whatever business you're having, you're creating, it's really an investment in you. And to build that know, like, trust factor, I can't think of a better way than to do it with Facebook Live. Stephen and I had a meeting this morning, and I was talking about a meeting that I had with someone who I would have never expected to be having a meeting with in the first place, but they reached out to me and I was really honored. But they did their homework researching me on Facebook first before that message was sent to me and before that meeting was had. And again, it keeps happening over and over again between you and I, that if we had not shown up the way that we show up on Facebook, would those opportunities arise?
Exactly. And that's one of the first things I do as well. I don't know about you, Maria, but one of the first things, when somebody writes to me and they've got a business opportunity or something like that, the first thing I do is Google them. Or I'll type in the name in Facebook. I usually type in the name in Facebook to see if they've got a Facebook page. And then I'll check out the videos and I'll Google them to see what else they've got as well. So I always do that. And I think most people would do that. Now, I don't know if you do that, Maria, but I certainly do that
Oh, yeah.
With Dave Moore. When I first got to learn of Dave Moore, I kind of tried to find out more and more about him. And Dave, there's not a lot of stuff, there's not a lot of your videos out there. And that's why we keep on saying, do a live. And I know you're doing that now, which is brilliant.
All right. And again, put your questions on there. Dave Moore is saying, look you up, check you out, hit you up, stay connected.
Excellent.
Yeah. I mean, Dave Moore is the one who really put that seed in me about showing up authentically, and that you can use social media to show up authentically and make authentic connections. And Stephen, one of the things that you teach in YDF, and Faiz, if this is helpful to you, I hope it is. One of the things that Stephen teaches is, we help those coaches, we help them share their message and to become those online influencers. And what Stephen teaches is the difference between push marketing and pull marketing. Yeah. By showing up consistently and persistently on Facebook, the way that we do, using the Facebook Live specifically, we are always sharing and giving value. And this is marketing in a way that's building relationships, in a way that's giving value through education. Showing up on Facebook the day you're looking for a client is not the way to market. You don't market when you need clients. It's about showing up and sharing of yourself, even after they become clients. It's the whole process from beginning and hopefully the never end. But you're always there. You're marketing when you're working with the clients. You're marketing when you're sharing on Facebook. You're marketing when you're doing customer service. How are you showing up? It's every part. And Facebook and social media is this place where if you're not showing up authentically and giving 100% to what you're providing as a business, well, then just as quickly as a Facebook Live can go viral, so can a bad message about who you are and what you're about.
Yeah.
You're kind of forced to show up authentically and with transparency, I think.
And people are looking for that, like you say nowadays. People are definitely looking for that. So you have to kind of do that and just try and get over that fear and just do a live. Even if it's to one person, you've done a live. And then it'll be to 2 people, then it'll be 10 people, then it'll be kind of bigger audience. I've just noticed Carol Contino has just joined us.
Hey, Carl, how are you? I'm going to be meeting Carl next week. We're going to have a little chit chat. Carl says, hi guys, I've just done 38 lives in 38 days and I'm loving it. What fun. Do you recommend Facebook ads for announcing lives and or past lives? No pun intended, Carl. Getting views is quite the challenge.
Yes, I would recommend it, Carl. Especially now, Facebook are just bringing out as well that you can actually do a kind of an advert now. I kind of announced this the other day on the other live, that you can do an advert to promote the live as it's live, if that makes sense. So you can promote it as it's live as well. You can also promote, I think they're going to allow you, if you do kind of an announcement beforehand that you're going to be doing a live, that you can promote it then as well. You weren't able to kind of do that before. So you can do that now, which is going to be good. But what I would always do is do it after the live has finished. If you're not getting a lot of viewers, that's the thing as well. What I would do, Carl, is maybe join forces with other people. I think that's the best way to do it. And somebody you know well, somebody that's got kind of influence, and just say to them, listen, would you be able to share kind of my lives on your page, and I can do the same on my page? As long as you both have that kind of connection and you've got the same kind of similar audience and you've got the same message, then I think that's a good way to do it as well. So I think that would be the best thing to get, because a lot of people, when they're first starting out, they're always saying, well, I'm only talking to kind of 1 or 2 people, and it doesn't seem worth kind of doing that. Yeah. So you've got to find creative ways to promote that live as your live. Advertising after it is really good. Advertising it before it, you can do as well. And see, I would test it. I wouldn't spend hundreds of dollars on it. I would test it with $5, $10 ads, see how that works, and make sure you're getting the right audience with when you're advertising. That's the most important thing when you're advertising, your right audience. I don't know if that helps you, Carl.
And we've been on for 30 minutes, but this is a great example of why a page is so important as much as a group is. Because if you're just building a group, you can't really advertise or share from a closed group. It won't share because it's a closed group. When you have a page, you can grow, and that's public. And you can start to build that audience there and do your lives there and share from there. And you can do ads from there. You can't do an ad from a group if you're starting a live. And Carl, I know that you have a group, which is why I'm saying it this way, and it makes a big difference. But this is why building a page is so important. Many people make the mistake of doing a live on their personal page, or they do it just in their groups, and they forget the importance of what the Facebook page can do. And that Facebook page gives you, one, statistics. It gives you when your audience is online. So maybe you want to do your show maybe when most of your audience is online. It allows you to do your ad from there. You can't do ads from a personal or a group. It'll allow you to share from that page where you can't really share from a group. Consider what a Facebook page can do for you in that way. And also, you can start to then build that page and funnel people over to your group so that you can start building that relationship a little bit tighter in your group and do more private and intimate Facebook Lives in there for them. And definitely utilize your email list to let them know when you'll be on.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I think with the advent of you can advertise as well using the Facebook Messenger. You can now do that as well from people who have previously messaged you. You can advertise to them to say that you're going to go live in 10 minutes. And here's a link, if you've scheduled it, that is. Or when you go live, just message them out straight away and just say, I'm live, here's the link. And that's a good way to do as well. And a lot of people are using a service called manychat.com. And that builds up, it's almost like an email list, but it builds up a number of people who have kind of messaged you. And it's like they're almost like subscribers, so you can write to them as well. That's a good way to advertise because it's people that are previously engaged with you. So it's an engaged audience already. So that's a really good way as well.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps, Carl. I didn't realise, Carl, has Carl not got a page?
I'm pretty sure, if I recall, after our last conversation, he has a group, but not a page. But I'm not saying that this is specific to Carl. I just think it's a good.
Yeah, just
it was a good starting point because I work with people all the time and I see what they're doing, and this is a common thing where I see those lives show up on the personal pages and they're great lives, and I'm like, you're missing out on so much more and being able to build your audience when you're doing it over there on your page. And then you can work with other bigger page owners who have influence. There's just a lot more to be had by using your page in that way. We have more questions, but we're already past the half-hour mark.
Oh, wow, it's 4:22. Have we got, is it quick questions that we can answer? Right, Faiz we'll just very quickly, as if Faiz can. What message or content, how to find? Really, that's up to yourself, Faiz. If you're kind of not an expert, but if you're really interested in a topic, you'll have a lot of things to talk about on that particular topic. For example, business, we talk a lot about business, and we've got an endless supply of content for that topic. If you still don't know what you're interested in, find out what you're interested in first, find out your passion, then start talking about that. Because as you're learning, you can teach other people because you're one step ahead of the other people that don't really know. And as long as you're one step ahead, you can always kind of teach. That's really what it's all about. I hope that helps, Faiz. Sorry, we're just answering these quickly. Any more? You see?
Dave Moore is asking, what about YDFLive ads? They happen anyway when you schedule.
Yeah, so that's an organic thing, Dave. So it's not an ad as such. So an ad, obviously, you're paying for, but the YDFLive, when you schedule it, that goes out to your kind of page and the people that are kind of liking your page. Most of them won't see it. Probably about 95 to 98% of them won't see that kind of scheduled post because 95 to 98% don't see the post in general. Mm-hmm. So that's when you have to utilize the advertising, and you can utilize it to just go to people who like your page or people who like your page and their friends. That would be a starting point. But that's not an ad in and of itself, but that just grows organically when you're doing the YDFLive ones as well. But you can use it as an ad as well, like you say.
And then the last question from Carl. Thanks, guys. I'm also experimenting with syndicating to my Untapped Genius page, group, site, etc. using LiveLeap. Seems powerful. Are you using it? Not using
LiveLeap just now. And we were looking at something. Something, I can't remember what it's called now, another service, because we wanted to do a live on a page. We wanted to stream to a kind of website kind of page as well. So we're looking at something for that, but it was a bit too costly just now to do something like that. So LiveLeap, no, I don't know about or too much about. I've heard of it, but I don't know too much about it, so I'll check that as well. So thanks for that, Carol.
Live Leap, you writing it down?
Yep, I'm writing it down just now.
Okay, good.
You're going to write it down, yeah?
All right. Well, with that, have a brilliant weekend, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're as excited as we are about Facebook and the upcoming communities and bringing the world together and creating powerful spaces for whatever you're into. Yes,
and it's just such a brilliant thing. And come over to the CYT page as well, because I'm going to show that video they were talking about earlier on from Mark Zuckerberg, because it's inspirational as well as teaching you about business, as well as teaching you about kind of humanity and communities as well. So I think you'll enjoy that. But thank you so much for I've just seen kind of Howard Mann, thanks for showing up today. Really appreciate you. And everybody else, thank you so much. Have a brilliant weekend until Monday. Namaste. Take care.
Namaste. Bye-bye.
Bye.